Steel, starring the NBA star Shaquille O'Neal. Now, when I was looking up DC movies that were made, this was a surprising one. I had no idea they made a Steel movie. I'm not that familiar with the character. He's in Superman Lois, a different actor that's playing him. He's been in some of the animated shows. So I thought I'd give the film a watch. Now, this movie came out in 1997 when Shaquille O'Neal was a big NBA star, and he kind of wanted to transition his skills into acting, and it didn't go well for him at all. I mean, we already saw Michael Jordan in Space Jam, so now we get Shaquille O'Neal in Steel. Shaquille O'Neal did some other movies that weren't that well received. I think he played a genie in a movie once, and that didn't do well either. But my thoughts on Steel. As far as the plot goes, Shaquille O'Neal plays John Henry Irons. He's a military officer. And while they're out on their base, they have a weapon. It's like an electromagnetic vaporizer weapon that can like destroy buildings and stuff like that. It's a prototype. One of the cadets, Nathaniel Burke, he's interested in this weapon, and he wants to test it out to take out the bad guys. Now, Shaquille O'Neal, John Henry Irons, he doesn't want to kill anybody, but Burke does. So he tampers with the weapon. He cranks the weapon all up to full power. He fires it, and it destroys a building. He gets court-martialed by it. John Henry Irons testifies against him, and Nathaniel Burke is dismissed from the military. So Nathaniel Burke, he's out on the streets, and he wants revenge. And he seeks revenge by joining a criminal underworld. And he wants to wreak havoc throughout the city by robbing banks and Federal Reserves. It's up to John Henry Irons to suit up as Steel to stop him. My thoughts on the movie. I watched it and I think it's good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I like Shaquille O'Neal. He's not an Academy Award winning actor, but for an NBA star coming in and making a DC comic character come to life, I thought he did his best. 2. I like that they explored the African American culture. Shaquille O'Neal is African American. He has a brother, and his aunt or grandmother, they're African American. One of his mentors that helped him design the Steel suit is African American. The street gang he confronts are African American, so they explore a lot of that culture. And I like it when films explore certain cultures, as long as it's not forced. Here I don't think it was. So I thought that was somewhat cool. So I give the movie an 8 out of 10. I don't think the movie is up there with a Superman 78 or Batman 1989, which the movie does make references to. But for what it is, I think it's good as it is. A small 8 out of 10. It's one of those middle-of-the-road movies, like a Swamp Thing, or maybe a Constantine. If you like watching retro DC comic movies, this movie might be one for you, but it's not a one I would put on my most watched list. I would just call it a collector's item you can get. That's why they call it the archive collection on here. Because it's not a movie that people are going to go out and really watch, but it's for collectors like me. So watch Steel, like I said, 8 out of 10 for what it is. It's good. It's not great. The acting is a little bit cringe. In some scenes, we're like, no! Like when something falls on somebody or something explodes, they scream, no! And it's just, yeah, classic 90s action, classic 90s acting. But I don't think this movie is a complete train wreck. I don't think it's atrocious like some of the critics say. I think it's just misunderstood when it came out. But like I said, I like it. 8 out of 10. So I will see you for the next review. This has been Steel Review.